Dear Eamon, you won't know this, but we've been working on a new design for a wooden pedal assist car. Something you could pedal to the shops in with a small electric motor to help you. But it turns out we're not allowed to do that. Well, that's not quite true. We could make one if it weighs just 25 kilograms or less, in which case it would be counted as a PPT or personal powered transporter, basically a big e-scooter. But I just couldn't make mine that light, and it's hardly a car, is it? Or I could make a wooden four-wheeled car if it qualified as something called a Light Quadricycle, which sounds about right, doesn't it? But the name is misleading. A Light Quadricycle can weigh up to half a ton, so there's nothing light about it, and they aren't even pedalled, not at all. So they're basically just a small car with a motor or an engine. Yet they're called quadricycles. Hello? And light quadricycles fall under the same regulations as mopeds and motorbikes, which means they need to be certified and tested, and that apparently costs millions. I did check, but we just don't have millions. I was expecting our design would qualify as an electric bike, an e-bike. After all, those can have 3 wheels, no problem. So why not 4? A 4-wheeled bike wouldn't be any wider than a 3-wheeled bike, but it would be so much more stable, as I shall demonstrate in a minute. And mine would weigh perhaps just 60 kilos, not the 500 kilos allowed for a light quadricycle. So the regulations make no sense. Sorry. What we really need is a new definition of light quadricycle, one which actually means light quadricycle, or a new category called ultralight quadricycle or something, to allow electric bikes with 4 wheels, so that anyone, including disabled people and nervous people and people who don't really like getting rained on, can drive their own stable and safe pedal assist vehicle to the shops or to work for a very low cost. I wrote to the Department of Transport about all this, and they forwarded it straight to you, Eamon Ryan, TD, our Transport Minister, and your secretary says you'll get back to me, but I guess you're a very busy man. In the meantime, the project rolls on, and we've continued the development and experimentation. So we can lose all that, and we can lose that, and we'll just keep a bit of this. Of course, we won't need a differential if we don't have 2 wheels at the back, but we'll still need a crank for pedalling it. Groovy. Ashley and I cut up an old bike and connected the bottom bracket to the tube that holds up the front suspension. So it becomes one piece, and with just 2 brackets we were able to secure the front suspension and the pedals very rigidly to the frame at the same time. Simple and effective.
Yeah, do you want them opposite or do you want to go both feet together?
Let's go conventional for this. Simple as that. Okay, moment of truth. Go. Ooh. That feels like something now. Very good. It's for fast. It's completely solid. It's a bit heavy, lumpy thing, but it's not going to move, is it? We'd be halfway there if we were still making a 4-wheeled car, but instead I had to stop and do some drawings to see if it's even worth trying to make something with just 3 wheels. I don't know, they always seem like something that's neither one thing or the other thing. But still, let's see what happens if we put 1 wheel at the back instead of 2. I made a rough bracket out of wood just to test things out. I probably should have screwed it on better. I keep thinking the government's stolen one of my wheels, which really isn't very fair, but still, come on. This shape is called a tadpole, and yes, they are more stable than the other way round. This one has 2 wheels at the front, and the ones with 2 wheels at the back, they're called deltas. But whichever you choose, they are still inherently weird things. It's impossible to avoid potholes with them, and worse than that, they want to tip over whenever you go around a bend. They just don't like going around bend. They roll the wrong way into the bend and just keep rolling over. Even a mild camber on the road can cause problems. Four wheels would be so much better. Did I mention that already? Eamon, are you watching? There is twist right through this frame now that it only has 1 back wheel, but I can do things to improve that. But to really solve the problem and make a 3-wheeled car that's safer to ride, there are 2 other solutions to try. One is to make the front wheels so that they can tilt over the correct way as you go around a bend, which would be an interesting challenge in itself, made out of wood. And the other option is to put 2 wheels in line and have the third sticking out sideways on a hinge, basically a sidecar. In fact, there isn't a hinge in this design, but the photo is great anyway. I'm not giving up, it's all good fun and so interesting, but to pull this off and make something really useful and looks good, then we need even more help from everyone. Please send cash, chocolate, cake, ideas, suggestions, general goodwill, any small change in the legislation. Thanks very much.